13 News Now begins with breaking news.
And the breaking news concerns the stock market. The Dow Jones at one point dropped more than 1,500 points in trading this afternoon. That's nearly 6%. Good evening. I'm Janet Roach.
And I'm Regina Mobley. Thanks for joining us. At the close, the Dow was down about 1,158. Let's check in now with anchor David Allen.
All right, let's all take a deep breath for a moment. This is bad news, of course, for those of you who have a 401k or are saving to send your kids to college. After several records for the markets, the slump began on Friday. You'll remember when the Dow plunged more than 600 points. Experts say investors started worrying that creeping signs of inflation and higher interest rates could derail the market's record-setting rally. Healthcare, energy, and financial stocks posted the largest declines. Today's major drop erases the Dow Jones Industrial Average's gain for this year, 2018. One expert says no need for alarm here, just one expert. This is more of a pullback. And it is expected, and it puts back the stock market on a more sustainable trend line. That's what we have for now. Much more coming up on ABC World News Tonight with David Muir. For now, I'm David Allen.
We have developments in the shooting death of a beloved Norfolk preschool teacher. We've learned Caroline Hendricks was not the intended target. That is new information coming out of a suspect. Chaniqua Cushman's bond hearing today. 13 News Now reporter Stephen Graves is live with the details from the court.
Yeah, good evening, Regina. And they were a lot of details we were waiting for as this mysterious case sort of hung out there in the balance. Now, prosecutors say this can get a little confusing, but at the core of it, they say it was a love triangle gone terribly wrong. Now, here's the deal. Today in court, prosecutors said Chaniqua Cushman was romantically involved with and received money from this man, 70-year-old Edward Shaw. Now, he's the man accused of actually shooting and killing Hendricks. It was revealed that Chaniqua was also in a relationship with another man around the same time. Now, prosecutors say Chaniqua used to text Edward Shaw about troubles and mental abuse received from that man in that relationship, and then the two suspects allegedly conspired to kill that man. So on New Year's Eve night, prosecutors say Shaw shot who he thought was Chaniqua's estranged lover, but that person was actually Hendricks, who was in the man's van at the time. And friends say of the preschool teacher, they say that she was in the van because she was friends with that man, the intended target. So there's just a lot to process here. And tonight, Chaniqua, she was denied bond by that judge. Her family flew all the way from South Carolina because they were left hanging in the balance too. They had no idea that any of these details were out there or why she was even in jail. We questioned them outside of court. Hear how that interaction went, coming up on 13 News Now at 5. Reporting live in Norfolk, I'm Stephen Graves, 13 News Now.
An interesting sight from Richmond down to Newport News this morning. It's something we don't see often, but when they show up, they are breathtaking. We're talking about roll clouds. And Evan, are these special clouds a sign of anything to come?
Well, a lot of times they come outside of the downburst from thunderstorms or with a cold front, and we had a cold front move through earlier today. Here's another picture of a different type of roll cloud, and sometimes these tubes can be for miles and miles. The technical term is a volatus cloud, just in case you were wondering. But again, it has to do with the way the winds come outside of a storm or with a cold front, and as it hits the ground, it sort of starts rolling and rotating, hence it's called a roll cloud, and we see them around here a couple times a year. As we take a look at the weather outside right now, just beautiful blue skies, although it is chilly. Temperatures coming in the 40s right now. It's 40 degrees at Norfolk International Airport, 43 in Newport News. Williamsburg, the warm spot, 52, although it's 46 back in Franklin and Ahoskie, a little bit cooler on the eastern shore. 37 degrees. So if you have evening plans, we're looking at mainly clear skies once again. Notice the clouds well off towards the north and west. This area of snow will bypass us off towards the north, but we are watching another cluster of showers developing across the southwest. That'll roll through here as we get into the day on Wednesday. But through the evening, mainly clear skies, temperatures dropping back into the low 30s by 11 o'clock. And most of us will be in the 20s as we start the day on Tuesday, but warmer temperatures tomorrow as well. Back up into the 50s. I'll have details on that and the rest of the outlook coming up.
Two men are in the hospital tonight after an early morning shooting in Portsmouth, and this is video from the scene on Seminole Drive. We're told one man was shot in the torso and the other in the upper body. The call came in just after 4 o'clock, and police tell us both men are expected to survive. So far, we do not know what led to the violence.
Tonight, a 44-year-old woman is dead after an accident in Chesapeake. Police say LaDawn LeDurant was a passenger in a car traveling on Taylor Road just before 11 o'clock last night. When the driver, a 38-year-old man, attempted to turn onto Taylor Court, a second vehicle hit the passenger side of their car. Durant was taken to the hospital where she died. No word on whether the drivers were injured. Police are investigating.
Another government shutdown could happen this week and is creating a lot of uncertainty around Hampton Roads. Without a federal budget, local businesses don't know if they can count on federal spending to keep our economy strong. Mike Gooding has local reaction.
Well, and Janet, the local reaction is here we go again. Local defense contractors, they just want some certainty. They want some assuredness of what's going to happen, and they just want Congress to do its job. And so here we are again for the second time this year and the fifth time this fiscal year. The nation is facing another financial cliff. The government will run out of money at midnight February 8th, this Thursday. That is, unless lawmakers pass an actual appropriations bill, which seems unlikely, or they pass yet another temporary continuing resolution. If not, America may be looking at another federal government shutdown.
It's become very frustrating to us.
Bill Crow is president of the more than 250 company member Virginia Ship Repair Association.
Absolutely not. It's not good for us. As I've said many times before, it's not good for the country. It's not good for our military, especially our Navy, of who we and the independent private ship repair industrial base fix.
We live in a military community. These are all federal government employees. They're depending on the government not getting shut down to be paid. So obviously it's a big problem.
And one of the many scenarios being speculated upon at this time is that Congress could decide this week to once again kick the can down the road and pass the umpteenth continuing resolution funding government through March 21st or 22nd. Reporting live, Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.
Tonight, a breakdown of FEMA relief for flooding victims in Virginia Beach. FEMA reimbursed the city nearly $5.3 million to help after Hurricane Matthew damaged homes in the Windsor Woods neighborhood. Tomorrow night, the city manager will present a plan to the city council. Part of that plan includes spending the reimbursement money on 3 pipe improvement projects in Windsor Woods. But the city manager says in order to achieve full flood control, Virginia Beach needs to install a new pump station and dredge around Lake Windsor. The dredging is already underway, but construction on the pipe projects, if the funding isn't approved, wouldn't start until 2020.
Virginia lawmakers are pushing for tougher regulations on unmanned drones. Under a proposed law, drone operators could get charged with electronic trespassing in 2 scenarios. First, if the drone operator carried out the flight with the intent to harass someone. Second, if the drone operator repeatedly flies near a home after being warned not to by the homeowner. Punishment could result in a 1-year jail sentence and $2,500 in fines. A Portsmouth museum is auctioning off a letter written by Alexander Hamilton. The piece of history will go to the highest bidder to raise money for restoration work at the Hill House Museum. The letter was written in 1794 and is appraised at $11,500. It's Hamilton's military request for wagons during the Whiskey Rebellion. The auction is March 22nd at Quinn's Auction Galleries in Falls Church.